Welcome to First Time Watching. The king of found footage horror is back with its Halloween installment, and this one might actually be one of the best entries in the VHS series. Later in the video, I'll rank and review VHS Halloween from worst to best segment. But first, let's jump into a quick recap. At a secret facility in the UK, a scientist is experimenting on prisoners, his test subjects, for a new soda flavor called Diet Phantasma. But when subject number 10 takes a sip, it's like he's possessed. He starts bleeding from every hole. Tentacles burst out of the can and jab straight through his face. The doctor is disappointed and calls for a cleanup crew. Two girls are heading out for Halloween before they leave for college. After some kids scare them at their car window and talk about the town witch, there is a large alien-like handprint left behind. They go trick-or-treating, mixing in some good old-fashioned ghostly seduction. Eventually, they notice a house with really bright lights that they somehow missed before. One of the girls rings the doorbell and knocks, but nobody answers. As they start to walk away, the door creaks open and a hand reaches out, holding a basket of candy, accompanied by a creepy voice saying, "Coochie coochie coo." One girl is super excited and walks in, while the camera girl is clearly freaked out. She can't let her friend go in alone, but the inside of the house is even creepier than the outside. It's full of weird dolls and random junk. When they try to leave, a strange woman blocks the door, holding another basket of candy. One of the girls accidentally makes her drop it, and a fetus falls out onto the floor. They run deeper into the house. It looks like the most high-budget haunted house ever. But when they circle back, the door is gone, and the windows are boarded up. The camera girl rewinds her footage to check what happened, and sure enough, the door really is gone. Then they hear that creepy voice again. Someone's coming. A figure peers at them from around the corner, motioning for them to follow. They stumble into what looks like a baby shower and find a photo of a pregnant woman. On the wall, written in red, it says, "He made me mummy." A creepy man appears, lurking in the darkness. They tell him to move, but the man, dressed like a baby, starts eating the doorframe. They find another girl drowning in gross breast milk with which the freaks are waterboarding her. The girls try to ignore it and open another door only to find a woman with 6 leaking nipples. They run upstairs, but something follows them. There's a girl in a cheerleader costume, one of the missing girls from town, but she's deformed like the baby man. They try to talk to her, but she just screams "Mama" over and over. Her mama is coming up the stairs. The girls try to escape downstairs, but baby man blocks their path. They barricade themselves in a room, hoping to hide. It's then one of them remembers the story about a witch who picks someone on Halloween night to make hers. She chooses those who are too old or too greedy, and they've been chosen. They find a photo of a pregnant woman hanging herself. On the back, it says, "I died to be free." A noose suddenly appears, and the door bursts open. The witch rushes in and crushes one girl's ribs. They get away, but the stairs are still blocked, so they crawl into a closet to hide. There's lullaby music playing, and the girls grow sleepy. It's the witch's magic. One of them dozes off, while the girl with the camera resists. The witch comes over and puts a bib on one of them. The lights go out, and when she looks again, her friend is being dragged away. She follows a trail of milk down to the basement. There's medical equipment everywhere, and a banner welcoming the girls. The children sit around the witch, including her friend, now turned into one of the creepy baby people. The witch sings her song. The girl falls asleep in her lap, and the witch starts laughing. Back at the lab, the scientist is on the phone promising investors that Diet Phantasma will be ready to hit shelves this Halloween. He's got 2 more test subjects. The can opens, soda sprays everywhere, and the guy turns into an elephant man. The other subject panics and begs for help, but Herc attacks her too. Then we see a series of crime scene photos. Victims with their eyes removed. A detective interrogates the suspect but doesn't believe he acted alone. Since the man can't remember what happened, they take him back to the crime scene to jog his memory. He and his friends had broken into an old mansion owned by a famous medium. The nun girl in the group knew about a secret tunnel. They were partying when they found a strange room with a phone in the middle. One of them wanted to pick it up, but the nun told him not to. The police ask where he was standing that night. He explains that the phone suddenly rang even though it wasn't connected to anything. He picked it up and went silent, then started shaking. The doors slammed shut, and he killed them. Back in the present, he reenacts what he did reading a strange spell on the wall 3 times. The phone rings again. He begs them not to pick up, but a detective answers it, hears nothing, and goes silent. The killer vomits up a bunch of eyeballs. The cops start floating into the air toward the ceiling. The killer raises his hands and plucks out their eyes, one by one. Back to the soda lab, they're cleaning up and bring in subject 40. She pops the can, says it smells awful, but admits it tastes good. The scientist tells her to finish it. She gets possessed, breaks her own bones, and vomits black sludge everywhere. She can see something behind the glass trying to get in. They gas her and extract her spirit before burning her body. Next, 4 friends who are way too old decide to go trick or treating. 2 are recently engaged, but the girl's clearly not in love with him. She just has trouble saying no. They find a house with candy outside. A sign says only 1 per person. They are all weird brands they can't find online. One is in the shape of a penis. When one of the guys tries to grab extra, a hand reaches out from the bowl and drags him inside. The others try to help, but the candy bowl sucks them in too. They wake up in a creepy warehouse with the same candy bowl and a sign that says 1 per person. Sticky syrup drips from the ceiling. A man with a candy head appears, so they run. The candy creep keeps teleporting. Then he grabs one of them and traps him in a saw machine that slices him in half. The others try to save him, but fail. The machine turns him into candy, so the girls start unwrapping them to check if they missed something. They find a key inside his candy-wrapped hand and try to escape. One girl gets pulled into the dark, and when they find her again, a tube of gumballs is shoved up her booty hole and blasts the balls into her until her head explodes. Then she's turned into candy too. The fiancé uses the key they found on a door saying exit, but behind it is just a wall that says 1 per person. They find a vent and crawl in there to try and escape, but the vent has a conveyor belt and then tries to suck the guy into another candy-making machine. So before he dies, he tries to marry his girl, but she tells him no. After he dies, she turns around and goes back out of the vent, but ends up outside. She thinks she is safe, but the candy man appears and kills her. Back at the lab again, Subject 41 is just a kid. He drinks the soda, asks for another, and then explodes. Then comes the Kaplan Company. They claim to offer protection during a string of abductions. The town's on edge, so they hold a police escorted Halloween. A cop tells the shop owner that a girl who visited earlier disappeared. He goes to check his store. In the back, he hears screaming. On the monitors, kids are crying and being killed. His cameraman suddenly attacks him. The guy's been making skin masks out of the kids. He knocks the owner down, puts a mask on him, and reveals another kid begging for his face back. The cameraman kills the owner and pins all the murders on him, becoming the new shop owner himself. Back to our soda scientist. He has 6 new test subjects. They open the cans. Their cameras burst into flames, and they're sucked inside. The scientist stops the experiment by extracting their souls, but the computers overload and explode. Subject 47, barely alive, asks in a demonic voice for more soda. The scientist grins, satisfied, and tells his crew to pack up and ship the sodas. Finally, a father and his son are setting up a haunted house in their backyard. Years later, the son's a moody teenager who doesn't want to do it anymore, but his mom blackmails him into helping. They go shopping and find a mysterious Halloween record that warns whoever plays this song on Halloween will release the riders of hell. Half the town shows up to their haunted house. The dad plays the record. The lights flicker, fire bursts from the player, and chaos erupts. Ghosts fly through the air, slicing people apart as monsters pour from every corner. The son realizes it's the record causing it. His mom grabs an axe and starts fighting back. Only the family and one little girl are left. The girl walks into a witch's hut, where the witch bites off her finger. The mom shoves the witch into a cauldron of acid. They try to escape, dragging the dad outside, but the witch steals the camera, grabs another victim, and rips off her head before flying away. And then, finally, after the credits, we get the Diet Phantasma commercial proudly announcing it's made with real ghosts. Let's do a run-through from worst to best. Number 6, Kidprint. The weakest of VHS Halloween's 6 segments isn't bad, but its more grounded approach and compressed storytelling simply can't compete with the film's more openly supernatural and scarier segments. Kidprint follows Tim Kaplan, who runs a local business creating tape recordings meant to ID children in case of abduction. Kidprint is creepy and makes great use of the found footage style, splicing videos of the missing children with their ID recordings to make it creepy. The biggest downside, however, is its fairly predictable twist, which makes it not quite as memorable as the others. Number 5, Haunted House. The one with the badass mom. This was a good segment, but there were definitely stronger ones. Haunted House focuses on a Halloween-loving father whose yearly dedication to building a haunted house is starting to annoy the crap out of his teenage son. The creepy green witch and bedsheet ghosts keep the tone playful and gory, while still finding creative ways to deliver some brutal body horror. Even though it had one of the stronger emotional buildups, it still felt less engaging to me compared to some of the other stories. Number 4, Diet Phantasma. serving as the connecting story arc in VHS Halloween. Diet Phantasma benefits from a dark sense of humor and some great imagery. It focuses on the trial runs of an experimental soft drink that keeps causing horrific deaths. Each new victim dies in stranger ways: possession, explosions, and all sorts of grotesque outcomes. The dark comedy works for me, and the gruesomeness keeps things entertaining. Diet Phantasma feels the most like classic VHS. It's not deep, but it's definitely fun. Number 3. At Supra Sick Infra. The scariest entry in VHS Halloween. At Super Sick Infra is set in Mexico and blends true crime investigation with found footage. While investigating a brutal slaughter that left only one survivor, the authorities accidentally repeat the ritual that unleashed a terrifying unseen entity. The blend of formats works really well, especially as tension builds between the two timelines. It escalates toward an ending that could have been ridiculous, but the clever camera work makes it land with terrifying effectiveness. Number 2. Fun Size. Equal parts creepy and ridiculous. Fun Size is a perfectly silly, scary story. What makes this segment work is that it knows how absurd it is and fully leans into it. The characters have just enough personality to make you care before everything goes horribly wrong. When one of the leads admits she wants to end her engagement at literally the worst possible time, the story hits that perfect blend of horror and dark humor. Number 1. Coochie Coochie Coo. An incredibly effective ghost story that feels closest to traditional found footage horror. Coochie Coochie Coo stands out thanks to Anna Zlokovic's eerie take on the urban legend trope. The short follows two young women trying to enjoy their final Halloween before college, only to be lured into the home of the mommy. The grainy footage gives strong wreck vibes. The steady reveals of the mommy's other victims are genuinely chilling, and the tone never loses focus. The pure horror, tension, and terrifying imagery make this the standout of VHS Halloween. It builds to a haunting, unforgettable ending that really sticks with you. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.